This one from the Bleacher Report. NFL teams that cannot afford to miss the playoffs in the upcoming season. They list the Browns as one of them. Rationale: the Browns are entering the fourth year of Kevin Stefanski's tenure as head coach. Upcoming season could easily be described as make or break for the 2020 Coach of the Year in the NFL. Also, fourth year for Andrew Berry as the general manager. Let's welcome in Jackson McCurry of the Dogland and Top Dog podcast. Jackson, when you think of it in terms of the upcoming season, there's a sense of urgency. You can see it in the moves that the Browns have made, in the veterans that they've gone out. They're in win now mode.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been talking about it on the podcast since the end of the year with all the moves that Andrew Berry and company have made in free agency and the draft and, making the big trades. They're in all-in now, all-in win mode. Now that they got Deshaun Watson, they're putting the pieces around him, solidifying the defense, adding Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator. It's a make-or-break year for Kevin Stefanski and company. I think Andrew Berry might get a little leeway, get to hire his own coach, but if Stefanski can't get this team back to the playoffs and get Deshaun Watson back to what he was back in his Houston days, I'm fearing they're going to make a change. I like Stefanski. I think he's done a good job with what he's had the first few years here, but all the talent's in place now. Now he's got to lead this team back to the postseason, or I think a change will happen. Yeah,
and I think the key is going to be you got to get the offense to highlight and showcase Deshaun Watson. And again, I'm not minimizing Nick Chubb, but you need an explosive offense. You need Deshaun Watson to look like the guy that you traded the first-round picks and guaranteed all the money for.
Absolutely. I think when you have Nick Chubb, he was there to minimize the flaws that Baker Mayfield had, that Jacoby Brissett had. You traded, like you said, all the picks, gave all the money to Deshaun Watson because you think he's the elite quarterback that's going to get the Browns to the Super Bowl. Now you have to build that offense to show that Deshaun Watson is that guy. And I think the moves they've made this offseason, adding Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, bringing in Bill Musgrave, who used elements of the shotgun in Cal and has a connection with Stefanski in his past, this all builds around whether Kevin Stefanski can get Deshaun Watson back to that elite level that he displayed in Houston.